Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Friday. And so today for our video, we are going to be making a card using the beautiful All About Autumn Designer Series paper. I know it's been hard to get and it's been in stock, out of stock, in stock, out of stock. And so it's that 6x6 paper that's in the mini catalog, the All About Autumn suite, and it's gorgeous. But if you see it available, don't wait, get it, because probably going to be out of stock again. I hate to say it, but it probably will be. So all that being said, let's make this cute card. I'm going to be using that designer series paper as the focal point of the card. Very little stamping. I am going to be using a sentiment from Autumn Leaves. So all that being said, let's get started. I am going to be using exposed brick 3D embossing folder. Okay, so if you have that embossing folder, you're probably loving it. We're going to be using that today. We're going to be using Mossy Meadow ink and cardstock and that All About Autumn designer series paper. This is the piece that I chose, okay? It's not leaves or a scene, but, well, it's a bookcase, so maybe it is a scene. But anyway, let's get started. It's not a really easy card to make, but I think it's worth the effort. So let's get started. Okay, so I am going to be using Mossy Meadow. And this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, just a piece. Now you could make this an open this way card, but you don't have to, because this is the part that's going to open. Okay, so this piece is 8 1/2 by 3 1/2. And I scored it at 4 1/4. Okay. Now, what I did was I did run through a piece on the Mossy Meadow with exposed brick, okay? And so that's going to layer on top. And this piece, of course, is 4 by 3 1/4, okay? I'm going to be using some liquid glue because it is textured, and it works better, in my opinion, than Stampin' Seal when you use the green glue on textured pieces. Just my opinion. You can use whatever you want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this on the front. Okay, it's going to layer nicely because of the size. Then I also have a piece of Very Vanilla that I'm going to put on the inside. And this is the same size. This is 4 by 3 1/4. This I'm just going to go ahead and use adhesive. Maybe it comes out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that is going to be the opening of our card. So I am going to go ahead and put this onto my card. Well, glue. My glue is not wanting to play nicely today. I'm just going to eyeball this, and I'm going to put it in the center. Okay, because that's the way I roll. Okay, so there is the card, the way it's going to open. Now, the part that makes it cute is the designer series paper. And so let me get my paper trimmer. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to cut this 4 inches. So I'm going to cut 4 inches off of one of these. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the top or the bottom. Let's see. Let's do from the top. Okay, so we got 4 inches, and then we want to cut this 5 1/4. Okay, so we're going to cut off a little bit. Okay, so we're making that 5 1/4. So now it's 4 by 5 1/4. Now what I want you to do next is to cut off 3/4 of an inch from each side. Okay, trust me, just 3/4 of an inch from each side. So you're going to do 4 1/2. I'm going to go 4 1/2. I'm going to cut that off. Okay. And then you're going to flip it over, and you're going to do 3 3/4. Okay. So now what you have is you have, I want to make sure I get these books going the right way because they do say things on them. And so there is an up and a down. Okay. So now what you have is 3 3/4 by 4. Okay, so before we cut that, I'm going to go ahead and glue these pieces on the ends. You noticed I was keeping track of where they, you know, which one was going where. The reason is because I want these to actually be on the ends, the way the paper was designed. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so we have that. Looking cute so far, right? Okay, this is the part that's going to make it really cute. Okay, so now you have this piece. Now what you want to do with this piece is you want to cut this down. So you want this to be 3 inches instead of 4. We only needed 4 for the ends, but we need 3 inches for the inside. So we're going to cut off, we're going to cut a 1/2 inch off the top and a 1/2 inch off the bottom. Okay. So that brings it down to 3 inches. Okay, so now, as you can see, if you laid this, sorry, I'm losing my voice, in the center here, it would all line up, right? Okay, so that's kind of what you want. Now, what we're going to do next is, hang in there, because this is designer series paper and it's a little bit flimsy, we are going to glue this onto some vanilla cardstock. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I don't know why it's too big, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use liquid glue. And I'm going to glue it. I don't need it on that very end. I'm sorry, I do need it on the end. What am I thinking? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that down onto this vanilla cardstock. And what that's going to do is actually give this designer series paper a little more, hang on a second. There we go. There's another thing I love about liquid glue. You have a chance to kind of move it around a little bit before it sets. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just trim this off. And I'm going to let that dry. While that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp my sentiment. So the sentiment that I picked from the autumn leaves is, I'm thankful. So in Mossy Meadow, I'm going to stamp I'm thankful on this little piece. Okay, so this is from the dies that coordinate, the autumn leaves dies. And then I have to have you as a friend. Make sure that's straight. So I have one on one side and one on the other side. That's just how I roll with blocks sometimes. You could put those on separate blocks if you wanted, but I didn't. Okay, done stamping. I also cut out the same die out of just some scrap designer series paper. Okay, and now I'm going to adhere these together. So I think I'm going to, this glue's getting close to its end. It keeps reminding me that it's almost empty. Okay, and now I'm going to wait to put anything on the back. In the meantime, this is set up, right? And so this is 3 3/4 by 3. So if you want to cut this into strips, and you want to cut it into 5 strips, you would do 3/4 of an inch of each. Okay, so the first cut is going to be at 3, and then 2 1/4. And I'm going to keep these lined up. The next one would be 1 1/2. And 3/4 of an inch. What's really nice about this paper trimmer is that these blades are so deep that you can easily cut through this. Okay, back in the day when our paper trimmers were not that good, we had an issue with cutting through thick cardstock, right? It would feather, it would do all kinds of crazy things. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these on here. I'm going to give a little gap in between. right? And I'm going to line up so that the, I'm not going to put glue right on that very edge. Just going to line these up so that that bookshelf is actually lined up with this bookshelf. Okay, so this is textured, so I am using liquid glue. If it's not, if you decide to make yours without texture, that's perfectly fine. I would recommend that you just use adhesive. And if you want to use a ruler to make sure you keep these lined up, go ahead and do that. Not feeling the need, but I'll tell you what, this strip in here is really helping me stay lined up. Okay, I left that blank right there because this is going to be glued on and there's going to be an overhang. So you don't want to glue. You don't want glue. Ooh, I got a little glue on there. You don't want to do that. Okay, if you do, just take it off, and you can also use your embossing buddy. Put a little bit of that on there and that'll take the sticky off. Got it over here too. Be careful with your glue, guys. Be more careful than I was. Okay, loving that. Now I have my sentiment, and I can put that anywhere I want. In fact, I could put it right in the center. Loving it. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have another card to show you when I'm finished. I made one using the pumpkins, and it turned out cute too. So I'll show that to you when I'm done. I'm also going to make a matching envelope today. I don't always do this, right? But I should do it more often. I love making matching envelopes, whether I stamp on them or however I do it. It just actually makes the card so much, I don't know, so much more special. And now what I want to do is I am going to trim off. Do I want to do that? Do I want to add something on here? I just want to add a little bit of color. I could do that. Maybe nothing. Maybe nothing on the inside is perfect. Okay, we're going to go with that for now. Okay, we have our envelope. I'm using a very vanilla envelope. I have a piece of the Mossy Meadow paper. I know, look at that side. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. So I'm going to use liquid glue, a very thin layer, because you don't want it squeezing out. Put it right on the end and right at the top. Press and hold. And just take your scissors and from the back, trim it off. Our envelopes are so awesome. They come 40 in a pack. We have the vanilla and the white, and they are quality envelopes, guys. There's no reason to go elsewhere for your envelopes. Our envelopes are awesome. Now, what I could do is I could put a little strip of this on here. Should I? It's kind of calling my name. Oh, look, I cut it crooked. Here I'm all like, ooh, I don't need to cut it on the paper trimmer. I can do it by hand. Well, apparently I can't because it's crooked. Let's see how that looks. If it looks wonky, I will leave it off. Oh, I don't know. It looks kind of cute. Should I stay with the up and down look of the bookcase, or should I go with the bottom? Okay, I'm going to go with the at the bottom. Yep, I'm going to use it. Why not? It's there, and it's cute, so we're going to use it. Look at that, it's so cute. Okay, now you have your matching envelope and your card. Okay, let's see the other card. Do you like it? I hope you do. And see how that overhang, see, it just made it like, ooh, so special. Okay, here's the other card. I love this one too. This one is the pumpkins. This is the pumpkin paper. And then on the inside, I did cut out the extra pumpkins and glued those inside. And then I made the matching envelope for this one also. So I hope you like these cards. I have no clue what they're called. I'm just calling them scene cards because that's kind of what they are. It works really great with these papers. And I also thank you if you signed up for my Christmas card stamp camp on November 19th. That class is now full, and I will see you on November the 19th at 1 o'clock if you signed up. If you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, please plan to come to Paper Pumpkin Day on the 30th of October. I think that's the date. It's a Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. That's Paper Pumpkin Day. And don't forget that we do have those add-on cards and envelopes that go with this coming Paper Pumpkin, right? They're going to be 5x7 card bases with red envelopes. Ah, awesome. And they're only $14 for 20. So it's a great add-on kit for the Paper Pumpkin. My name's Trevis Bossler, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri. And I appreciate you watching my videos and commenting. Thanks so much. And I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.